welcome to Cory's Stories. Are you ready to meditate with Cory?
Hi friend, don't forget to subscribe, say that you like the video, and also press the bell so that you get notifications every time I make a new video. If you love Heidi, Cherry, and VAYA, or Tucker and Leo stories, you can now get exclusive stories on my Patreon account. Go to the links below the video and you can join Heidi, Cherry, and VAYA Club or the Tucker and Leo Club and get exclusive stories with your names in them. I love you all so much. Enjoy the story. Bye, friend.
Are you ready to meditate with Cory? Lie down in your bed and get super comfortable. Make sure that you stay still and quiet so your body can relax. Turn down the lights. And maybe close your eyes as you listen to the story. With the time of year, the right temperatures, the climate, the wind, the amount of water, and everything else involved. Blue had finally arrived. Blue was floating down from the sky. He'd started his journey along with millions of other snowflakes. He was beautiful, one of a kind, and the amount of detail that was put into his creation was so minute, but perfect. You would have to look at him under a microscope to be able to see him in full perfection. He was riding the waves of the wind. He'd got quite a long journey to get to where he was going. As he looked around, many of the other snowflakes were doing exactly the same thing as he was. They were just gliding through the air, as if they were all following some song that only they could hear. And every time the wind switched a note, they would move in a different direction, all uniformed with each other, in sync, without even trying. It was in a part of his journey that was quite peaceful. Very little movement except just gliding through the air, as if he was soaring through the sky like a bird does when they don't even move their wings. That part of their flight where it doesn't take any effort at all. Just quietly gliding like magic. on some kind of current, which enables very little effort from the bird. At one point, the wind picked up. It got quite blustery. Things from the outside looked as if they were chaotic. Balls of snowflakes tumbling and falling, and then being lifted and pulled and pushed aggressively through and around, in and out, as if they were in a washing machine, being tumbled all over the sky. Blue never felt out of control, and neither did the snowflakes all around him. It was still all perfect harmony. Even the parts where they got really fast and they went in all different directions. Even that was orchestrated, as if the song was still playing, that they were all listening to in sync. The journey took days and days. So much time. Yet where Blue was going, the people were completely oblivious. The temperatures had dropped. The woolly jumpers had come out of the closets. In many places it was rainy and cold. The leaves had almost all fell off the trees. You would think people would be ready for the snow. Yet where Blue was going, they had no clue. He loved it when it was like that. A surprise. Like a child opening the curtains first thing in the morning to peer out at the world covered in a white, bright blanket of snow. There's nothing better than that first moment when you realize that everything outside was covered in snow. Those wet, muddy puddles, the dead grass, the dull, dark days had completely vanished and been replaced with a wonderland of white. And all the children put on their boots and their big coats and their hats and their gloves and ran outside to jump and play and make snowmen with Blue and all of his friends. He couldn't wait. The further he traveled through the sky, the more and more he got excited about where he was going. The days and the nights seemed to just drift into one another. He enjoyed flying in the night. The moon, bright in the sky, would shine down its light on all the millions of snowflakes, and they would look like stars in the sky, twinkling at each other. Sometimes the temperature would warm up, and some of his friends would melt and disappear. But Blue kept going. He was sturdy. His spikes were all intact. His beautiful patterns, unique to himself, looked as good as the day they were formed. There was one point on his journey where he landed on the back of a crow. And the crow took him off in a different direction for a while. He liked how the crow squawked. He imagined he was squawking, talking to all the other birds in the sky. But then a gust of wind blew him off and sent him in the direction of his friends once again. He was close now. Maybe only a day, and he would be there. There was a lot less snowflakes than when they started, but there were still so many of them. They were all flying together on a mission. Blue already knew which house he was heading for. He knew that the house had a garden. There was a tiny little koi fish pond in the back garden. He knew that the house had a bright yellow door with 7 trees around the house. One tree had a child's swing made from rope and a tire hanging from it. He was excited about his destination, the possibilities. When he finally got to his house, along with his thousands and thousands of friends, they all landed on the garden, the trees, the roof of the house, the car, the tree swing. They landed on top of the fish pond, the bushes, grass, the cobblestone path to the house. They covered everything in snow. Blue tried as hard as he could to control his descent. He knew exactly where he wanted to land. He timed it perfectly. He landed on a daffodil that was bright yellow. He felt like he was being bathed in sunshine. It was so bright and intense. And then more and more and more snowflakes landed right beside him, until eventually all of the yellow that he could see before disappeared and turned to white. They made the garden look like it was covered in white lace, like a picture that had been painted. The first thing that came out of the house was a dog. It ran and played and jumped in the snow and barked a lot. This woke the children up. A little girl with pigtails, gloves, a bright red wool coat, and a red woolly hat came running out of the house with a little boy that was with her that looked like her brother. He was all bundled up and he was running funny because his swishy winter trousers wouldn't let him run properly. He watched as they gathered snow off the grass. He hoped that they would come and collect him. He'd always wanted to be a snowman. But they didn't. But he was happy to watch. He watched them play for hours. At one point, a tall gentleman came out of the house wearing goggles, or were they glasses, and helped them build the snowman too. They put a scarf on the snowman and a carrot for his nose. And then, as if it was a very special day, the little boy came and collected the daffodil that he was resting on, along with 5 other daffodils. And they put the daffodils in one of the snowman's hands as if he was carrying a bunch of flowers. He was a snowman. His wish came true. He was so happy. And the snowman that they'd built was so big and tall and perfect in every way. Blue's dreams had come true, and he didn't think he could be any happier. Until the little boy and the girl stood right there with him, and he felt their giggles as warm as hot chocolate all over him, while their dad took pictures to save the memory forever and a day. All the miles that Blue had travelled, the days and nights that it had took to get there, every minute was worth it. Blue was as happy as a snowflake could possibly be.